everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for Skate's Home Learning. Today we are going to learn about how to lock up that Google Meet. So if you are a CPS teacher, you have officially made it through your first week of remote learning, so congratulations. But as you know, there have been both some highs and lows, and one of those lows is that some of our lovely students have decided that it has been a cool thing to interrupt some of our learning and jump into classes that are not theirs. So how do we make sure that that doesn't happen? There are some easy steps that we can take to make sure that our classrooms are safe and protected for our students so that we can continue to teach without those interruptions. So number one, we want to make sure that our Meet link is protected, and that's pretty easy. So to do that, you want to go into your classroom. So remember, your link is at the top. So right now, if you take a look, my link is visible to all of my students. So you want to make sure that that is staying invisible until right before your classroom. So you're going to go to your wheel. You're going to scroll on down and see how it says visible to students. You want to toggle that off. So now that means that my students cannot find that link until I want them to. So I'm always going to make it visible only right before the class. The other thing you want to make sure you do is reset that link if you ever think that that link is compromised. That way you have a new fresh link for your students. So if somebody that is not supposed to have the link has it, then you can refresh it, and now it doesn't matter if they have it because now they have an old link that is no longer your classroom. So that's one way you can make sure that the link is protected. Number two, you always want to make sure you are the first one into the class and the last one out. You are the gatekeeper. Making sure you're the first one in and the last one out means that you have locked that Meet. That makes sure that kids cannot come in after or before that Meet. If you're not the first one and the last one in the Meet, that keeps that link open. So you don't want that because then kids can move in and out of that Meet once you are out of that classroom. So make sure again that you are the first one in and the last one out. You always can remove kids at the end of the Meet saying, hey guys, class is over. You have about 10 seconds to get out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna remove you, no offense. And then you can just remove them on out. And then also, and this is really important, so Google has created a lot of safety protections into our Google Meets. And so this is great. And so you want to, once class starts, you have your first 2 minutes, everyone comes on in. You then want to lock down that class so nobody else can get in. You are the host, and that means you have a lot of host controls now, and this is really, really great. So let's pop into our Google Meets. All right, so when we're in the Meet, the really cool thing about our Google Meet that we now have is we have this little button here. So it looks like it's locked, but really that means that you have the permission to now lock the Meet. So at the start of class, it's kind of like you're standing at the door of your classroom. You're letting your students in. Once you click this, you now have 3 new really cool options. The first one here, it says quick access. I'm going to toggle that off. I have now locked my Meet. That means everyone that wants to get into Meet has to request access. That means every single email, every single phone number cannot get in unless I allow them to. So when they dial in, a little pop-up is going to come up and it says, do you want to let this person in? You will see the full name or the full phone number of that person that's going to come in, which is really, really important. So you get to decide, is this a person that's supposed to be in my classroom or not? And then you can accept or deny them. Therefore, no one can get into your class that is not supposed to. Another really important fact, because this happened to a lot of people last week that I know, if someone tries to *69 their phone number, they can't even get in. So if I am trying to sneak into your class and I don't want them to know my phone number, I can't *69 my cell phone. It won't even let me get into the classroom. So please know that can't happen. When you see a private number that pops up, that means they're trying to be sneaky. They're using their CPS email to try to get in. And they're going through the chat. And so please know that that is a CPS student trying to come in and access your Google Meet through a CPS email, but they're doing it through the Google chat. Deny them because they're just there for no good. So a private caller is actually using a Google caller through the CPS domain. Deny them. They're not coming in for any good reason. Don't let them in. So you're denying that. They must come in only if they're coming in with their actual name. So that is one tip that you should know. If they're calling in because they need audio issues, they should be calling in with a cell phone, because then you'll see their full number and you'll know exactly who they are, and you'll be able to call them back and verify who they are. All right, so if you take a look, you can see that the full name pops up. You can see that it is out of the CPS schools, and I get to decide if I want to deny or omit. That looks very sketchy, so I'm going to deny. And you can see how that looks. I hope that makes sense. Two other really important things. Right here, share their screen. You can toggle that off. That way, no kid is going to be able to take over your presentation and share their screen with anything you don't want them to share. So that will cut off anything inappropriate that they have intruded in and tried to share things that they should not be sharing. And then the last one right here, send chat messages. If they are starting to overwhelm and do things they're not supposed to be doing in the chat, toggle that off, and that cuts off their ability to chat for a while. And once they start learning how to be responsible, you can turn that back on. Same thing with sharing their screen. You can turn that back on for student presentations and things like that, but if they're not able to maintain their maturity level, you can keep that right off. So I hope that helps. It helps lock things down for you and making sure that the only people that are in your classroom are the ones that are supposed to. So to recap, when you have these controls on, it'll pop up with their actual name and actual full phone number, all 7 digits, so you should know exactly who is coming into the classroom. If you let a phone number in, once it pops up, just so you know, the students won't see the full phone number, so you don't have to worry about that identity where they're getting their phone number, but you originally will see that phone number, so you'll be able to know who that person is. I hope that helps for everybody so that you can lock down your Google Classroom and making sure that all your students feel safe and that you are able to teach without interruptions. All right, until next time, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it helped. Please share, please subscribe, please like and comment. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.